Hello everyone and welcome to a slightly different video to usual. This is the Le Mans 2.4 hours and it's hosted by a variety of sim communities, mainly Revolution Sim Racing. We invited others, so I'm on Apex Online Racing, so I signed up via that way, and I've been put into Lobby C. So this is my fastest lap in qualifying. There was 30 minutes qualifying, and then obviously we had the 2.4 hours of Le Mans, so day-night cycle and things like that. I chose to be in the LMP1 class. So I'm in the Marek. The other choice was the Toyota, and actually looking back at it, I think the Toyota was slightly quicker than this Marek. But even so, I will show you the setup later on because it is a setup-based race, and I have Raskemenn to thank for that. If you're watching Raskemenn, thank you very much for that. I took your time trial setup, added downforce to the front and rear, one on each, and adjusted a few little bits of what I knew, and so it went from there really. One thing you'll also notice is if you look at the centre dial, you'll notice there's no driving aids, there's no ABS, no stability, no traction control. So it really was a tricky race. And unfortunately it's not the whole race, but we'll get onto that a little bit later. But coming into like this braking zone especially, very tricky because the brakes want to lock up. And especially towards the end of the Mulsanne straight into Mulsanne corner, really hard to get right because the brakes just instantly lock up. I spent about 5 hours trying to work out if I could sort the brakes, and then 118 came to help me, and he said lowering it to between 86 and 90% would help, and it did, and I was just as quick, so I thought, okay, excellent, I'll do that. It turns out I probably should have lowered it even more, to be honest, to really get rid of all the brake lock that I was getting. Because when I got down to third gear, it started locking up, and then second was really bad. So you'll see in some parts of this race, me locking up. You'll see some slight incidents in there as well. But I'll say I'm on my quali lap at the moment. There are 3 lobbies in this, and then all the results would be combined. And then you get an overall winner, an overall, in each class. So there's LMP1, there's LMP2, and then there's GTE. And it was really well set up. I mean, the amount of players signed up to this, it was like 100 players signed up to this, which is unbelievable. To say it's not like an official Project Cars race, 100 players still signing up, amazing. I saw it, I was like, that sounds pretty good actually, I'm going to sign up to this. No idea about setups, still signed up, and I'll tell you where I came in qualifying overall, I think, because I'm not sure what Lobby B did qualifying wise, but I'm pretty sure I was faster than Lobby B. So I'm in Lobby C, mainly because I think they didn't know who I was or how fast I would be. So you'll hear that comment in just a second, and I'll let you listen to that as well. So you will hear other people's voices as well, because we were on Discord, so that was just so we get the start right and warn people if you're there, etc. But as we come into these final 2 chicanes, what lap time are we going to get? So through the right hander and head towards the start finish line, and we are going to get a 3 minutes 18.7, and I believe that might have been P2 overall, but I'm not sure. But just listen to this in 1 second and you get to see the setup.
Tidgney should not be in this bloody lobby.
So you heard there, Tidgney should not be in this lobby. As you can see, I am fairly far ahead of everybody else, 6 seconds there. So now it's about the race. So it took a while to get the race going. We had to restart the lobby once because a few people got disconnected. You can see now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a little bit of a trick here. So I'm going to be on the throttle a bit more and on the brake, and I'm going to try and heat up the brakes a little bit. Now, because of the problems, we'd literally drop brake temp, so it's not really going to help that much. But that's a nice little trick you can do. Just going through these final 2 chicanes, I'm going to tell the LMP1s when to go. There's then a short gap to the LMP2s. And then finally after that, there's a short gap to the GTE cars. So let's prepare to go. So there we go, we're off, and you can see the Toyotas start flying straight away. They're instantly faster and passed me instantly. Their boost is incredible. So I'll lose 2 positions there going into this first chicane. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look here to stay on the inside. They have a little bit of contact there, so I need to leave a bit of gap on the right hand side just in case they come back on track. Just missed one of them there, and I think then Jesper just lets me go there just because he's gained a bit of an advantage. And on we go. So that literally straight away into the the lead there, and I've already built up over a second gap, so slipstream not an issue. I just need to make it around Tetra Rouge. Through we go, nice and easy. Not as quick as that we could have done, but we continue on nonetheless. So pit stop wise, I was going to go for a 2-stop strategy in this race. I could just do 2 stops. So I've just jumped a bit forward because we're coming up to the first lap car. You can see the gap already, 19 seconds. So I was really pushing hard in this. I'm pushing a bit too hard, I think. I was just using a bit too much fuel, like by 0.2 litres. So I'd have had to fuel save really hard towards the end of the stint. But it was still possible. When I did a practice stint, I was 3 litres off. But I'd ridden the accelerator and brake all the way around to see what I could do with that. So I overused fuel there. So I reckon I needed to save about 1.5 litres during the race. As we come through here, the LMP2 obviously struggling there, fighting with the GTEs here. But the nice thing about the LMP1 class, you get a lot of boost. So through we go, 3:23 lap. I was in the high 21s, low 22s, not as fast as Lobby A, and I'm not sure what Lobby B was doing at the time, so perhaps equal on pace. But I was still doing alright, so I was still going through there. I must have scared the GTE car a bit there. But we'll continue on. I kept meeting 118 at this corner. Not sure why it happened, but I must have taken like 4 times at this same place. It's quite strange. And through on the right we go. Nice and easy. Through Tetra Rouge. We go now. There we go. Through we go. And you can see we lost a lot of speed there, but even so, it's not too bad. So we're not going to jump forward in this one, in this little bit of it anyway, because it's just GTE car after GTE car. So as we head down towards the first chicane, at this point in time, I'm just trying to get into a settled rhythm. My tyres are fine. My brakes are fairly okay. Obviously later on, when it goes dark, that will change, trust me. But we're just coming up to Stormin now. He was one of the main admins in this lobby. So I go to my left. He just goes to the left as well. A bit scary that, but even so we carry on. No harm done. And we continue on. Just get a bit of slipstream off this LMP2 car. Goes to the right hand side. And through we go. Something to mention actually with this. So as I say, it's like administered amazingly well. They actually use 3 dedicated lobbies, 3 of them, so they really do put a ton of effort in, and it just helps try and stabilize everybody else, because what a dedicated server lobby does is it puts the strain on the one server rather than the strain on everyone trying to communicate with everybody, so you see a lot less lag spikes and things like that. And it's the same thing we're doing in the multi-class in the SMSR Championship by ESL. We're just going into Mulsart corner now. Just going to be patient here as we come around here. No point risking a lot. Remember, it's 2.4 hours of Le Mans. Loads and loads of laps to go as we continue on now towards the head of the GTE field. I must say I really enjoyed this race. It was great fun. Even though I wasn't racing anybody really, because I had such a gap to the rest of the field, it was still brilliant stuff, honestly. It's something I absolutely loved, so I'll be looking out for the next one, which will probably be in Project Cars 2, to be honest, and yeah, I'll definitely be looking out for that. So we're just coming up to a GTE car and an LMP car again, LMP2. So we just get that boost and then we just start flying ahead there. I think it adds an extra 150 horsepower in this car, in the Marek. It's not the Marek actually, RWD, sorry, it's in the RWD. And through on the right, oh, that one's a bit tight there. I do remember that. As we come through the Porsche curves. Now these are basically flat. You just brake a little bit just to get the initial turn in. I do that slightly wrong. And through this left is flat. Then this one is flat as well. A slight brake or lift off in here. Try and keep the momentum. Now I found out later on in the race 4th gear would have been better here. But even so, I do that corner fairly nicely. And then we're just going to go on the inside of Ninja. Ninja does actually speak and say go on the left. But I was already on the left anyway. So then we break into the chicanes, and as you can see there, we're not getting the full brake recovery system. We're not getting the full energy back, so that's a bit of an issue as well. So we lost 5 seconds there, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, but we're overtaking a lot of cars. So now we're overtaking an LP1 car, and yeah, we get through on the right hand side there. I'm not sure whether he had a bit of damage at all. And we just see an LMP2 car come out the pits. Now this is quite funny, this one, as we head towards the first chicane. As we come into the left, we're just nailing this fine still. You can see there we're not having any issues with braking at the moment. And you'll just see, I think it's LDA, just slightly skim the right, and it just forces him left into there. So I'm going to leave room on the left hand side so he can come on the track. That's the best thing to do there. And even so, we continue on. So, coming into here, watch this. So the brakes are going to lock up. Let's get a bit sideways. We do catch it. Just... Oh, we don't actually. I thought we did. But we didn't spin or hit the barrier at least. Restart the engine and off we go again. So we lose a few seconds there. And it's because it's going darker actually, believe it or not. So obviously the brakes is obviously something up with the brakes there. Sorry, it just messes me up at Arnage as well. So I'll just have a look at temperatures there and have a look at what we're doing now. Interestingly, I upped the radiator from 1% to 5% open. I don't think I needed to do that. In fact, I think it could have been on 0 to be honest with you, because the engine was run cool enough. It's around 120 degrees. Same with the brake ducts. I did actually release a lot of them. I'm just going to be patient here with Freak Superman. He just clips the inside there, so I can just go around on the outside of that corner there. So we head towards Tetra Rouge again. So on the brakes, it was around 9% I think I had them, because I wasn't sure whether running them too hot was causing me to lock up more. And it probably wasn't. It was just the fact that they were better when they were running a little bit hotter. Because I especially found after you brake for Indianapolis and then carried on and went straight into Arnage, they were really locking up at Arnage. I've got to say it was really difficult due to the brakes, especially at night. So you remember, you might remember from a little bit earlier, I said I'd catch 118 at the same place. Once again, here's 118, and look at that, we're in the same place again. I'm going to do the exact same move on the inside there, just to go through all nice and cozy. So I'll just talk about some of the competitors in Lobby A. So Vernux was in there, the guy I'm racing in the SMSR Championship. So was Sharf, who's also racing in that, but he's in the LMP category of course, racing in the Pro Series for TX3. And then there was also a really fast LMP1 guy in there called Worthy, who actually did a 3:16 in qualifying and a 3:17 in the race, I think he did in the end. Absolutely amazing. But just jumping back to myself quickly, I just passed Neptune. Now Neptune's going to be my unlucky charm, because if you watch this, just lose the rear there in the braking, crash into the barrier, and yeah, I'm now going to have to stop my two-stop strategy. I was very close on fuel anyway to even make that, but definitely now I definitely can't make it, and I'm going to have to go to a three-stop strategy. Bit annoying, but even so we carry on. I had told Neptune there that I was going in the pits anyway, but obviously he might not recognise my voice, so who knows. So it's funny actually, because on the fuel stops, I don't think I'll show it on this bit. I've got a dry night, a dry day, and that was for my two-stop. And I had a quick splash and dash one as well, which was just in case I couldn't make the two-stop. So continue on, lap 13 now, and we come out. We've done a lap. We're in the pits. Jesper's just pitted. Hubo is staying out for a little bit longer, and once again we're catching 118 on the first sector, a little bit earlier than normal this time. But through we go there under the Dunlop Bridge. So I was mentioning about Worthy in Lobby A, and he was really on fire. So I don't think I'd have beaten Worthy anyway. He did a two-stop, I think, as well. So he was miles on the pace. So really well played to Worthy. If you want to watch the full live stream, by the way, I'll put a link in the description to that, as it was commentated on in Lobby A. So can be worth a watch there. It is 3 and whatever hours long, so definitely get a cup of tea, food, and etc. to really enjoy that. Just catching this LMP2 car in a really awkward place on the track here. You've got to just be patient, come through the corner, and then try and go on the right side. Then you've got to be careful of this bump actually. So I mentioned Vernux was racing in Lobby A. He caught that bump a bit wrong and went straight into the barrier. That cost him a huge amount of time because he had to pit, of course. And you see I'm back into first place. I'm actually 30 seconds ahead now. As once again we head towards Indianapolis. So I've started letting off quite a lot there in Indianapolis, and you can see the brake recovery system, how much energy I'm harvesting. It's like half. I'm literally letting off and rolling it in to these corners, just because I don't want the brakes to lock. I'm really worried about the brakes. So we leave Arnage, we get that bit of boost that we love, and we're just going to go to the left of Taodao, or Taoju, not sure. But we flashed our lights just because there was a car behind him. I don't know whether he was seeing me or not, so I just flashed there, come through here. You can see the rear is now getting a little bit slippy. Just having to let off a little bit through the Porsche curves, and you'll just see in a second that I do go and look at tyre temps again. I'm always unsure with this because I don't really set up cars very often. So I have changed the pressures for the night time. I dropped it by like 7 psi. Check the tyres. I think that's okay in my mind for what I've read on the internet. So we'll continue on. Up ahead, this is a bit of a weird one. Neptune stays to the left hand side. I'm not sure whether he is hitting the barrier there or not. I wasn't sure what he was doing, so I just gave him plenty of room there on the inside. And then I continue on. Annoyingly, as I said earlier, Neptune is my bad luck charm in this entire race, because every time I passed him, I then did something, or something happened. So coming into here, the rear just slips out, and then obviously I try and stop it. I brake. I did the wrong thing there. I broke. Shouldn't have done that. Fortunately, I didn't hit anything. So we're just going to come back onto the track. Once again, we're going to have to overtake Neptune again. You can see Neptune was in 6th place as well. We have had a few drop out at this point. So basically, if someone disconnects, potentially they can take somebody with them or a couple with them just because you're changing the lobby. So that's why even in the SMSR, it's always nice if nobody leaves, because then nobody can take anybody else with them. Always if you leave a lobby, potential is there, because obviously you're then making it a bit unstable, and that's bad. So you can see there, I overtake Neptune, I nearly lock up and go into the barrier again, and I broke before the slight right in Indianapolis. On the left you'll see a few more I've disconnected there, so you can see people are being disconnected here, and unfortunately this is the end of the race for a lot of people. So I was really enjoying this. I was enjoying the night session, up to 50 seconds with the gap, 52 seconds, 53. So obviously Jesper is in the pits, obviously had an accident somewhere, so I'm at this point really calm. I'm just then trying to finish the race. I'm still not, at this point I'm not sure what Worthy's doing in the lobby A. I was thinking the Toyotas would have to 3-stop easily, or even 4-stop, so I was just trying to get consistency and keep going and not worry too much. So as we come into Mulsanne now, you can see I'm just letting off, I'm just letting it roll. Huboy now has left the session. I'm not sure whether that's because he had a black screen. There's lots of talk about cars being off at the first, Tetra Rouge, having to weave out the way. And then if you look in the bottom left hand corner, in 1 second, you're going to see, on me itself, you'll just see my screen go white. There you go, or blue. And that's an error message that's come up on Project Cars. Unfortunately, that knocked out a load of people, and that actually crashed most of Lobby C. So that's the end of the race, unfortunately. But I still wanted to show this because it's a really good race, and it's well worth checking out. So do check out the description, because there's going to be a link to the actual race. There's a link to the live stream there. Yeah, if you like this video, make sure you like it. If you disliked it, dislike it, and let me know why you disliked it. Leave a comment if you want to, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.